Record. And sharing my screen. Can everybody see my beautiful home here?
It's still
loading.
It's freezing. Okay, you see my beautiful home with my beautiful view.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just
where do you live?
No, it's not my. This is an Airbnb. If you see the top there, I'm in Joburg. This, I don't know. I think this might be Cape Town or somewhere, someplace there. Not bad, eh?
Okay.
Not too shabby.
Yeah.
You're gonna. Yeah. Okay, great. So what we want to do today is talk to you. The goal of today's lesson is talk to you about gathering, growing an audience. How Neil's going to go into how you do the prospecting and getting some online clients, and then I will also go back into how do you get leads that you can for future, and getting a system that you can get leads whenever you want to, that you don't get stuck with our clients, and also we're going to use Facebook groups for that, and how to structure your Facebook group. And we're also going to not just use Facebook group to get people, but also to warm them up to your message. I will also be explaining the difference between a Facebook profile, a Facebook page, and a Facebook group. Okay, so maybe just quickly, since we are a nice small group, do you guys know the difference between profiles, pages, and groups? Jorn?
Yes, a profile is like your normal profile, like who you are.
Yeah.
Page is like something a profile can create. People can just like it or not.
Yes.
And groups is something that you can be open or closed, and it has a certain theme on it, usually.
Okay, cool. So Ryan, do you know the difference between the three?
Not really, eh? Not really.
Okay.
I don't.
Do you have a Facebook profile?
I've got a Facebook account.
Which is your own personal profile, I'm assuming, but you don't have a page or a group.
I do have a page.
Oh, okay. What is your
basically in my page, I kind of post what's this? Pictures of my workouts. Yeah, like pretty much that. Nothing else.
Okay. Jon, do you have a page or a group? Nothing.
I don't really use Facebook.
Okay. All right. We're going to be using Facebook as a tool to generate leads. So it's not necessarily for what I'm not saying you must become a Facebook sort of sit all day long and waste your time on Facebook. This is specifically for business purposes, because I want you guys to sort of get your mindset around that you're not a personal trainer, but you're a business owner, and actually that there's a lot more involved to be a business owner, or a fitpreneur for that matter, because your role as a business owner is to manage your business in such a way that the personal trainer in your business, which happens to be you as well, has enough clients to train. So that's why we're going to focus on this area of your business today. Okay, so why are we using Facebook? Well, Facebook is rather big. And even still today in 2021, I often get people to say, oh, no, but, Facebook is not the biggest anymore, or Facebook is not that big. And, I'm using TikTok now and things like that, But if you look at the stats, Facebook is still the largest, reaching 59% people, 2.8 billion users around the world, daily active users. 1.84 billion people go on there daily. People spend like 20 hours a month on Facebook on average. And there's just lots of people in Facebook. And then if you're saying to me, yeah, but that's the world, what about South Africa? This is South African stats. You can see WhatsApp. Most people use WhatsApp, and then YouTube, and then Facebook. And then everything else is kind of way down the line. Yes, Instagram, Messenger, But yeah, at the bottom, you'll see Skype, TikTok is 37%. So, and in South Africa, there's 23 million active users on Facebook. So if you are looking for clients, then I think there's enough of them on Facebook to satisfy, to grow your own business. Okay, cool. So let's just jump right into this sort of picture. About I want you to kind of keep this picture in your mind when we talk about creating a leads pipeline, because we want to get to a situation where when you're running your business and you need leads that you can convert into customers, that you can just open the tap and the leads come out. And preferably those leads need to be at least a warm or hot leads that is already know that they have a problem that you can solve. They know that online training can make the difference for them, and they also know who you are, and they maybe even know, like, or trust you a little bit. So that would make it much easier for you to make a sale or to sign a client up to join you than if you're trying to go up here to cold clients. So this is a process that will promote the sustainability of your business, that in the long term you always have a source for leads, which it means a source for clients. But today what we're going to be doing, and this is sort of the same process here, is we want to give you guys a quick start, a place to prospect where you can get clients quickly. And as I said, hot clients are the easiest to convert. So we're going to start at the bottom of this funnel where they are already hot. And these are people that you already know, people that are maybe used to be clients of yours or current clients of yours, or friends or followers, or somebody that you could literally just pick up your phone and WhatsApp them or voice note them or call them. And that's something that Neil's going to go into in this process of how to get from friends and followers, how to get quickly to get a couple of clients or members of your group, so that you can get going with your training. And then after Neil's done, I'll come back up to the top of the funnel over there and start teaching you about how to use the Facebook stuff and how to use your personal profile and your Facebook page to get people into a Facebook group. And in essence, the Facebook group is going to be the sort of, you could call it a pot or a geyser or something, where we're going to be warming people up and getting them ready for when you want to open up the tap and turn them into a lead and into a customer. So that's what we're going to be doing. Neil, I'm going to switch over to you. If you want to share your screen.
You cannot start the screen share while someone else is sharing. Oh, wait, there we go.
Now you can. Oh, that's your background there, your house.
Oh yeah, that's definitely not my house, Quentin. I wish my house was in like kind of out of space.
Cool.
Okay, so Quentin has kind of set the platform for me. We kind of given you the hack version so that you are speaking to people that already know you. It's not a cold lead. So a cold lead would be someone that you may just have like tried to speak to maybe online. They have no idea who you are unless they kind of look at your profile. But even then, there's no interaction, there's no rapport. And rapport was a word that I was talking about when we were going through the consultation process, which even if someone is warm, someone needs to know that you know what they are looking to achieve. In order to do this, we first need to create a resource. I'm going to call it a resource for now, but it can be a video if you're comfortable with video. It can be a picture, or it can just be a text, like a list. So think of when Quentin and I were speaking to you about this course, we sent you just a text document that basically just outlined the learning outcomes of what the course entails. So it gave you some sort of context, and it's something that you can refer back to, and it's something that that just provides like a kind of an idea about what you're doing. So for the context of personal trainers, that would probably be what you're offering them, what service that you're offering. Okay, what I'm going to suggest that you guys do is have a core offering. A core offering means that this is what you do, kind of non-negotiable. It's like your baseline package. I've spoken a little bit about before about giving people too much options. I think it was the first call that we did together. If you give your clients too many options and you actually allow them to pick like a service or a way of working with you that actually isn't going to get them a good result, then you can end up shooting yourself in the foot if that person doesn't get results, or like the process doesn't work out or anything like that. So I would encourage you guys to have a non-negotiable, like, say, for example, if you're going to be training with me, you need to at least be able to commit to 3 times a week. If you can't train with me at least 3 times a week, you can't do 3 sessions a week, then it's not going to work. Another example is if you're looking to get into what I'm getting into, kind of looking to transform people, do transformations. A non-negotiable in my business would be, if you're not willing to commit to an exercise and an eating plan, then the process is not gonna work out the way that I want to be obviously running my business with transforming people before and after photos and getting people results. So that can be an example of a core offering where you prescribe what the service is. And if someone says, oh no, I don't want all of that, I just want this, then they're probably not your ideal customer. So if they do have a rebuttal, then you can say, well, look, this is how I got results on myself. If you haven't got any other clients, or if you've got results on other clients, this is how I've done all of the transformations, or how I've helped all my previous clients. And then you can obviously give some evidence, scientific evidence, or your own, like I said, stuff that you have done on yourself, or if you've got results with other clients. And then this resource also needs to include the price. So you need to let them know what they're getting in for and how much your service costs. And then they basically, after this, they'll know what it costs, what it includes, and also what it costs, which is very important. All right, then we kind of get into the sales process. And as a personal trainer, whether you're doing normal personal training, whether you're working at a gym, whether you're taking your business elsewhere, there is what is the right word? There's a certain amount of sales that comes in with that. So you need to be able to sell yourself, or sell what you believe in terms of helping someone. I prefer to look at it in a way where I'm literally communicating to people how I can help them, because that's why I do personal training, because I love to help people. And that kind of switch in my brain when I'm not thinking about, okay, I'm just trying to sell this person, I'm just trying to get them to kind of give me their money. I find that my prospecting process goes a lot smoother, because I'm being genuine, and it doesn't feel like I've got like some ulterior motive or anything like that. So in order for us to do this process, we need to have a certain structure. All right. So Quentin's already taught us how to pick our ideal customer. So that's a really good starting point. You can pick where your starting point is in terms of, I'm trying to focus your attention on finding people. So if you go like a little bit on, if you look through Facebook, and then you're looking through your Instagram, and then you're going through your phone book, and then you're looking on WhatsApp, it can be a bit of a scattered process. So I would suggest starting in one spot, as easily as going through your phone and picking out if that person fits into your ideal customer, yes or no. It can be as easy as, okay, this person doesn't fit into the age bracket that I'm looking for, next, or whatever. And then you can identify. So I would say 60 people. It's an arbitrary number. It's not like the magic number or anything like that. I'm giving 60 people as an example, because for me, something that's realistic for me to if I'm going to go and offer my services to someone, depending on obviously how much time you have in a week, I can do about 10 of these. I can commit to prospecting 10 people per week. Okay, so it depends what's realistic for you. So for example, if I list 60 people that fit my ideal customer, and then I can commit to 10 a week, then for the next 6 weeks, I've got prospecting to do. And then obviously you need to factor in the following up, as well as doing the consultations and whatever your hook or offering is after that. But I'm going to go into that in a little bit. It's also very important that you keep track of what you're doing. So when you've made this list, and it needs to be easily accessible, meaning, so if you're in a work position where you don't have to stay engaged all the time, and maybe you have like some free time, or you can do during your lunch period, you need to fit these in wherever it best suits you. Generally within business hours is a good place to start. People don't really want you calling or messaging them like late at night. Obviously, if it's a message, then they can check it the next morning. But ideally, you don't want to be on text with these people, and I'll explain that also in a little bit. But the tracking sheet is important, that you make sure that you're not wasting potential leads. That if you put it out into a 6-week process and you're doing 10 per week, then for the first 10, as you have contacted someone, you can mark them off, and then you can say, okay, this person didn't get back to me. This person said yes, this person said definitely no. And then you don't repeat the process, and you also don't, maybe someone just didn't get back to you, or you just didn't follow up with them, and you've actually just wasted a lead because then you didn't follow up from your side. So just some parameters I would suggest. Set it up into weeks, so put 10 per week, and then mark them off. As you've prospected them, they've either accepted, and if they haven't accepted what you've offered them, then I've put their Facebook group, because if someone is saying no, they don't want your service right now, or no, they're not interested, you're always going to be offering to put that person into your Facebook group, because just because it's no right now doesn't mean it's a no, I never want to work with you. It could be a potential when that person comes into a different phase in their life, a couple of weeks down the line, and Quinton's going to be helping show you how the Facebook group kind of keeps everyone together, so that as these things become relevant, they think, oh yes, I remember Jorn told me about something like to help me with my physical health. That's something that I can fit into my life right now. And then you're always going to be in the front of their minds, especially if you've got them in a group like all together. Okay, then the way that the actual process happens is you need to make contact with these people. Okay, it's best to have an actual phone call with them, or how you would use voice notes as an alternative. Nowadays, people don't really want to be like phone, like while they're busy doing something. I find the best for me is to send a voice note, and for that voice note to be specifically personalized to that person. So like saying their name in the beginning of the voice note, giving some context to why you thought of them. But a phone call is also, if you do better with like an actual conversation, a phone call is great. I would definitely shy away from just texting people, like sending out these mass texts like, hey, you know, that those like generic things that you get when people send like a broadcast message, just like, hey guys, or whatever, and then like whatever follows. Most people see the first line and they're like, oh, this is just a broadcast. They're not even gonna actually give you the time of the day. And especially when you're working with your warm and your hot leads, you don't want to be wasting a potential of someone that you could actually help that would want your service. So in this voice note or in this phone call, what your goal is to explain your offer. All right. I would suggest writing a script or bullet points. What I do is kind of a combination of those two, and I'll give you an example after this where I write a script out as to the main points that I want to get across, so that I don't become sidetracked, especially when you're starting off a conversation or you're starting off a voice note and you're explaining why you thought of that person. Your brain can kind of go off of track. This is a script or bullet points will make sure that you're getting to the point, and you're also highlighting what I like to refer to, or what's been taught to me in sales training, as your hot buttons. So the most important thing that provides context to what you're saying, and also that it lets people know like the best things about what you're offering them. Okay, so you're going to give them context, and you're going to find, and they're going to know what you're offering them. And then again, like I started off what the slide with, is for me, it's offering that person my assistance. I take what I do very seriously, and I know that I change people's lives. I've changed my own life, and I've continued to change other people's lives through the service that I'm giving them. So I'm not thinking I'm going to pitch this person to make a sale. I'm literally thinking I'm going to let this person know how I can assist them. And if they would like that assistance, I want to give them the best chance of knowing what I actually have to offer. And in that way, I'm literally just offering my services. I'm not trying to push something down someone's throat. I'm not just like, hey, like get 50% off now. And like, it's not like one of those kind of things. It's literally offering the person your assistance in a way that personal trainers do help people. They help transform people's lives, help them with their energy, help them with their weight loss, help them with those things that they actually are really uncomfortable with, and help bring confidence back into their life. There's so many beautiful things that we do as a result of our work. Okay, so things to include, like I've already said, why you thought of them. So it's a personalized message or personalized phone call, why you thought that this person would be maybe interested. Maybe it's something that they've posted, maybe it's something that they've said to you, or just something that you know about them in general, if they just like to look after themselves. It can be as simple as, I know that you really are interested in your health and you're always trying to look after yourself. Let me help you with that by, and then whatever your offer is to follow. The phone call or the voice note needs to be short and to the point. I try to keep all of my prospects in voice notes under 1 minute, because also sometimes if you send someone a message and it's really long and it's out of the blue, people might, like, first of all, not want to listen to a long message, and second of all, think that might be a bit strange. But if the voice note or the conversation is just like naturally flowed, and it hasn't, like, you haven't got said unnecessary things or whatever, you don't have to, okay, if you see, like, for example, you send in a voice note and you've got like 5 seconds left, like all of a sudden you have to wrap it up. It's a guideline, but make sure that it's short and it's to the point. That's important. Also make sure that it's easy for them to understand, and also just tell them that what you are offering them is easy to do, it's easy to understand, and it's convenient. Especially with online training, for the last 5 years, the hardest thing that I actually went through was explaining to people what online training is, because they had no idea. And a lot of people will assume that it's hard to do, assume that it's hard to understand, and assume that it actually won't be convenient for them. So I would definitely include in whatever you say to them, to let them know that it's easy for them to understand no matter what situation they're in. Everyone has a phone, everyone can actually be contacted, and people can actually use the app, because everyone has a smartphone. If you're sending them a WhatsApp or whatever, they have a smartphone, so they can use your service, and also let them know that it's super convenient for them. Those are two very important points that I would bring up as part of the process. So this is an example of the script that I had for myself when I was actually prospecting people to take this course. And you'll notice that this isn't the exact thing that I said to you. So for example, I use a kind of a hybrid method of, it's somewhere in between bullet points and a script. So I didn't just like send you a voice note and say, hi Ryan, I've partnered with Quentin, the webpreneur, to design a course. Like it's not like that at all. The idea of having a script or having bullet points, the idea of having these things is that you make sure that you say all of the information that is relevant, and that you hit on those hot buttons, the most important things that make sure what you're telling them exciting, and what your service actually kind of includes. So yeah, it's definitely not a reading process. It's not to sound robotic and to be disingenuine. It's just something to keep you on track. Okay. So you guys can read through this. And then if you remember when I sent you guys voice notes and told you about what the course was actually about, I literally told you like why I thought of you. And then I explained the context of what's going on here. And then also like what the kind of service entailed. And then I also did a key thing after that. When you responded to me, I sent you the resource, which in this example was the learning outcomes. All right. So what do you do next? If someone says yes, what is the next thing that you do? So just like I've taught you in the consultation process, you schedule the consultation with them. All right. So just go through all the guidelines that I've already given you before. And then even though you've told them what the context is, you send them the resource. If they've said yes or if they've responded and they want to know more. And then before, obviously, like I said, with the consultation, before the actual thing happens, you send them what to expect, so they know that they must bring like a paper and pen or something like that, or what the consultation is about. So Ryan gave us some good examples before where people come to a free consultation and they've got this idea of what they expect. They expected this to be a physical session, and so that's what they're there for. So you just need to let them understand that the first step is the free consultation, and then there is something that obviously helps them as well, which is actually supposed to be over here, but we're going to do this in the other way around. All right. If whether they've said yes or no, you're going to add them to a Facebook group, and then a key question that I actually haven't used before that I would like to start using to see if this actually works is asking someone would they like to add someone with them on their journey? Would they like to join you? Would they like to join them as well? So say someone has a boyfriend or girlfriend or a husband or wife or a sibling or someone or a workout partner that they already have. Is there someone that would like to join them for this? And then when they join the group, always ask them to enable the notifications. Okay, if you've prospected them and they say no, then ask them a simple question. Do they know anyone that would be interested? And then if they say yes, then ask them for their details. And then you've got a semi-warm client already, or potential client already, because you can say, well, Brian said that he know that you might be interested in me doing whatever it is your offer is. And then you can say, oh, I know Brian, or Brian recommended me. And then immediately, by the power of association, that person's going to be more open to at least giving you the time of day to hear what you have to do, what you're doing, and then it can be an extra added person to your list. Yeah, you also, even if they say no and say, well, would you like to just stay within the community, or would you like to just be a cheerleader on the side? I'm going to be sharing good resources and good information on my Facebook group, some free resources as well. And then hopefully they will just join your Facebook group. And again, you ask them to enable notifications. And then you've got someone that might not be for right now, but potentially further down the line, they become a client of yours. Okay, so if I were to step by step the process, when you prospecting someone, you've got to have some sort of like hook. And what most fitness professionals and what gym facilities do is they give you some sort of trial period. Okay, so you're going to give them context, ask them tell them why you thought of them, and then say, well, look, what you get out of the benefits is you get a free consultation with me. Plus, you can either choose, you can give them this option, or if you want to just pick one of the two, if you want to be doing more Zoom training or more app-based training, you can say, have a week on the app or a free Zoom session with me. And then, again, you're going to send them what you're offering them. So after you've already taken them through this process in a conversation, and then only if, say, you're doing the voice notes method, only if that person has responded and actually engaged with what you're saying, will you then go and send them what your core offering is, or your resource, or whatever you would like to call it. And remember, that includes what they get. All right. And then for later down the line, you probably don't have anything to add as optional extras to your business. So for this could be, for example, a nutrition guide. There can be extras or whatever that you add to your business as kind of upsells, but that's only if you have them. If you don't, then if you just have a core offering, then that's perfectly fine as well. But hopefully later, when you get down the line in your business, this is a good opportunity to say, well, look, instead of getting my 3-month package, I'm having a special on my 6-month package, or get a nutrition plan as well for an extra 500 Rand. That's what the cost would be after our free trial. So you also upfront with them, you're letting them know that you're not just out to give free trials, you are there to let them try it, but you are going to be offering them something at the end. So it's not misleading or anything like that. And for people that aren't serious, they will be less likely to take you up on a free trial if they have no intention of working with you. If they know that obviously this is a business, this is what you do, and this is what you're going to be offering them. Okay, and then the third step in the process, and there's something stuck in my brain from like sales training and things like that. That's just what stuck in my brain is the fortune is in the follow-up. Okay, following up with people is so incredibly important. People are busy. People don't have lots of time on their hands. They're always like jumping from like they've been stimulated by this on social media, or like this pops up or an email, and they'll completely forget to either maybe even listen to what you've had to say. So like listen to your voice note, or read the text that says, hey, can we set up a time and day? I just want to give you a quick call, and I'd like to speak to you about this new thing that I'm doing with my business. So if they like read a message and they don't get back to you, give it a day or two, and then just send them a quick like, hey, did you get my message? Or if they've listened to your voice note and they didn't say anything, like, hey, are you interested? Have you had time to consider what I've said? And then it's literally just saying like, hey, just checking in. It's not to bug them. It's not just push it down their throat. If some people are not interested, it's as simple as them saying, no, I'm not interested, in which case you can just go, hey, well, you can join my Facebook group. It's free. I'm going to give free resources if you're interested in anything to do with your health and fitness or anything like that. Okay, so this is not like a set in stone process. This is the process that I've kind of built up myself based on sales training, based on experience. And so if there are better ways that we can do this, or better things that we can do, I'm always open to trying new things. And this whole over-the-shoulder training, the beauty of it is I would like to give like new things a go as well. So if we can streamline it together, if we can make it better, if we can add things, or if we can make it simpler, we can reduce things, I'm totally open to changing it. And I'm looking forward to having you guys see my success rate with this that I've put together for you. Do you guys have any questions about any of the steps that we've gone through?
Okay, so I don't have a question about the steps. They're quite straightforward. I have a question. Would you suggest having a business plan for like where you see yourself with your online business and so forth, to have like a step-by-step guide to where you are going? Or is that just all fluff or like a waste of time?
Look, it's a great question, Jorn. I wouldn't call it fluff, but it depends on what kind of personality type you are. I am incredibly detail orientated, and I find that trying to plan everything before I actually do it, it just gives me this thing that also I've heard in my sales training called analysis paralysis, where I end up trying to analyze and like, where am I going to go in 6 months, in 1 year, and all these little things that I can add. And you can get so caught up in doing that, when actually when you put yourself out there, when you've just got, like I said, a core offering, you can then see a lot more clearly what would be realistic to actually add, where you had this like grand plan of, oh, I'll add this and then that, and it may not actually fit together very nicely until you've actually unraveled the process. So I would say business plan is definitely something you should do, But at this point, we're actually trying to fast track you so that you have time and money, resources available to you to build extra things, to get things like that added. So I would say at this point of the business, like, let's just dip our feet in the water and see where it goes in terms of what you would be like to be offering and what comes up next for you, and just do what you've already learned how to do, which is you've got a personal training qualification. You know what that entails. You don't have to do any extra research or learn new resources or anything like that. I would highly recommend getting that done, and then kind of putting the cart before the horse in a certain extent, if that answers your question.
Okay. Yeah. Like, first do, and then you can adjust. Like, instead of like having a plan and then like adjust. Like, it's like I said, it would be a waste of time. Like, in the beginning. Yeah. Like, just do. Like, you can adjust it.
Jon, I think it's going to be something that we're going to be covering probably a couple of weeks down the line in terms of how to structure the important things about your business, and that would be something like what is your vision for your business? Where do you want to go? What are your goals? All of those sort of things are important to do, and also what is it that what's the outcome that you want to what you want to get out of the business, and the strategy that you can follow in order to grow your business. Because as I said in the beginning, it is, I'd love for you guys to not just think of yourself as somebody who's exchanging time for money, but you expand it broader than that, and that you can virtually scale a fitness business to as big as you want it to be. But it's going to be a step-by-step process for us to get there. And so it is a business plan is a good way to think through the strategy that you want to do, think through the goals, think through the vision. So a business plan will definitely cover that off in a couple of weeks' time.
Okay, perfect.
Ryan, you still good there?
Hey, to be honest with you, my attention has been kind of like a split, so I'm gonna have to rewatch this video. But at the moment, I don't have a thingy. Okay. I don't have any questions at the moment.
All right, no worries.
Yeah. So sorry about that.
No problem. So I'm going to be sharing my screen now. Again, so back to where we left off. Actually, let me just go back up there. And so Neil has covered how we're going to get this quick start by going for these people that are already hot connections and warm prospects for you that you could convert easily into somebody who's going to take a trial with you and at least go through the process with you. I'm going to go right back up to the top to sort of say, okay, how are we going to get new leads? Because at some point, I mean, you probably have a lot of warm leads or hot leads to go through, but at some point you need to start filling this bucket up from the top so that you could start warming those people up. And I'm going to be talking specifically around Facebook and how to use Facebook. But obviously, you can get people into the top of your funnel via, if you're strong on YouTube, if you've got a Twitter account, an Instagram account, TikTok, whatever it is, to bring people at the top. But we want them to congregate in one place, because the magic happens when if you got clients and prospects in one place, where they can start talking to each other, especially if you're giving those clients the results that they want. So we're going to go through using the personal profile, the Facebook page, and then getting people into this middle piece, which is the Facebook group, so that we can start the process again where you got people that you can talk to. So getting back to the Facebook group then is to say, okay, what is the objective of the Facebook group? What is it that you want to achieve in that group, and what do you want? So what do you want to the beliefs and the beliefs for now. What are the beliefs that you want people to, the things that you want them believe that's going to make it easier for you to eventually turn them into customers? So I've got this little phrase, and I want you guys to kind of write it up for your individual businesses, just to kind of give you an idea of what the objective is, and that's going to also tell you what your Facebook name or Facebook group name can be, and even your Facebook page. And if you don't have a business yet, maybe this is the start of fleshing out your business name. So it says, if I can make people believe that, this is where we all got the broad buckets of say yoga or boxing fitness or functional fitness or whatever. What is the program that you believe that people should follow in order to give them the results they want? So the program is the keys to whatever it is they want to achieve. I think I should actually maybe this, because I'm battling with that, sort of making stuff up. So let's use this one where I've actually written out. If I can make them believe that my platform, solution, or vehicle, in other words, your specific niche of fitness that you are using, is the key to give them the outcome that they desire most, which is weight loss, fitness, toning, whatever it is, and is obtainable through my course. So this is where it's Jorn's special program, Ryan's fitness course, or a boxing program. Then all the other objections becomes irrelevant, and they have to give me their money. So here's a practical example for ketosis, for instance, or keto, what do they call it? Just ketosis. If I can make them believe that getting their bodies into a state of ketosis, that's the broader sort of concept, is the key to losing weight, and is attainable through prove-it ketones from my specific program, then all the other objections and concerns becomes irrelevant, and they have to give me their money. So that's where this sort of outline that I started with, if you could just kind of fill in the blanks there in terms of your business, then that's going to tell you. So that little first piece there, the platform or the solution, that would be what's going to happen in your Facebook group. That's what your Facebook group is going to be about. So because this is an open Facebook group, this is not yet the one for your special VIP clients, but in this open Facebook group, you just want to discuss the topic. Okay, so getting into the whole Facebook platform is using those three different pieces of Facebook, the profiles, the pages, and the group. I talk about using all of the real estate, because there's all of these different opportunities for people to see your message or to connect with a post that you have. Because if you think about it, if you have a business page, you could post something on there, and then you could share it on your personal profile, and you can share it into your group. So there's literally three different places where people can see your stuff. And if you think of it, if it's somebody that is your friend on Facebook and they are in your group and maybe they have liked your page, then there's a higher opportunity for somebody to see it. You might know that on the whole Facebook algorithm thing, Facebook's algorithm has got to figure out how to keep people on Facebook. They've got to keep people engaged on Facebook. That's what they want. They want people to spend a lot of time on Facebook. So the algorithm keeps trying to think, what do they have to serve people to keep them scrolling, keep them on Facebook? So if the content that you're putting up there, and they're going to be going, if it appears in three different places, there's more opportunities for those people to see those posts and interact with them and engage with them. Okay, so this is where we're going to start off as just in terms of your personal profile cover. And this is kind of the outline, the skeleton. And this is something not a lot of people know, is they think, oh, I could just throw up a banner and I could just kind of drop in a picture, a pretty picture of the mountains or something like that. But this is already a space that Facebook is giving you where you could literally do anything you want to promote your business. So you could, yes, you're going to have your personal profile pic come up here. And so the point of having this, what I call the mobile optimized profile cover, is because most people look at Facebook on their phones. Okay, so when you design it, a lot of us design our stuff on a laptop, and then we think, oh yeah, this is going to be pretty, and I'm going to put stuff over here and I put stuff over there. But when you look at it on a phone, all that stuff disappears. So that's why we're saying don't put any text here, don't put any text here, because on a phone no one sees that. So use the space optimally. They talk about the 512 pixels is this area from there to there where people will actually see your stuff. And then you have the opportunity in the picture that you've got, and this is something you can, if you're good at Canva or something like that, where you could literally just kind of write a message here about what it is that you, what is your strength, and something a little like like Neil was talking about, like the link or the thing of interest that is the hot buttons or something like, yeah. The hook is the word I'm looking for. So you could have your hook here, and it says click here, but it's not actually going to be a link. What it does, it literally just opens up the picture, and then it'll show the description next to it, and that's where you could put your link to your website, or or even more description, or a longer story that if you want to put that below it, okay? Or that's where you can literally say to somebody, join my Facebook group, and then once it's done, it might look something like this. Yeah, I help coaches and business owners grow the business through organic marketing and lead generation. So that's kind of the short message there. And it says click here, and it's a nice and clean profile. I wouldn't go too salesy on it, because it's you as a person more than anything else. And the reason why we want this is because when you connect with people, new people on Facebook, this is where they're going to get the first impressions of you, and they're going to go, who's this guy and what is he about? And this is where you got an opportunity to make those first impressions. So, and that's not necessarily when you are connecting with people and whatever, but even if you're posting on your page or you're posting in your group, that's still going to be showing up your profile, and somebody hovers over it. This is the picture that will come up, and people will sort of get to know you through that. So do use your personal profile. And back to what we taught you about the avatar and about the niche that you're in. This is something where once you're done and you look at it and you go, what would Jessica do? Remember, what would my profile or my avatar person, my ideal customer, what would she think when she looks at my profile? Would she go, oh, that's crappy, or that's creepy, or that's, I don't like that, whatever? Or would that actually attract her to you and want to know more about you? Okay, so when you open up Facebook, and we'll quickly look at that just now, but this is kind of all of the stuff that you can change when you're looking at your personal profile. Obviously, your profile picture, your cover photo, your bio is a short little message that you can write, and then a couple of things about you. You could say what your positions are or previous positions, but you could also already start putting in your link to your Facebook group that you've got, and then you've got a featured section, which a lot of people don't use or don't know that it's there, but you could actually put a couple of things there, but I would suggest maybe just one or two. It literally is just and I'll show you now when you do it, it's just a nice picture, which you can again design, whether you do it in Word or you do it on Canva or something. And it's going to just kind of quickly tell people something about the business, and it's where you want people to go and check out more about your stuff. Okay, and I'm saying again is wear the T-shirt, that your avatar would wear in all of these areas. Okay, and then the personal profile can be used. You can be, the more active you are in your personal profile, the more the algorithm also gets to know you and gets to know who reacts to your posts, and more people will see it. I don't know if you know that nowadays there's so many things going on Facebook, so many people posting that probably when you post, if you've never, or you haven't posted for a while, you post now, maybe less than 10%, maybe 5% of your friends will actually see that post. So that's why the more you post and the more people react to your post, the more people will see it. So let's say you post something and 10% of your friends see it, and half of them react and think it's great and they comment on it, then Facebook will show it to another 10%. And if they react to it as well, Facebook will start showing it to 40, 50% and as quite a lot of people, because the algorithm sees there's actually value in that post that you've done. So use the stories as well. Neil is quite good at this. He posts regularly. And I'm not talking about sales messages, just something about you, something real, something authentic. And then also, make an effort in finding your avatar on Facebook, finding those ideal customers of yours with that ideal profile on Facebook, and friend them, and then you can start connecting with people in that way. A good place to look for your avatar is obviously in other Facebook groups about yoga, other Facebook groups about boxing fitness, other Facebook groups about your specific niche that you're working on. So you're looking for people with things in common. So, and then the cool thing is also Facebook will start to get to know the kind of people that you friend, and Facebook will start suggesting friends to you, and you'll see, oh, I'm actually friends with, I have 20 mutual friends with this lady and 29 mutual friends with them. Then it will be quite easy to friend them, because they will also, when they get your friend request, see, oh, we've got mutual friends and these 30 people, this guy looks like he's okay and he's legit, and they will friend you, and you can start a conversation in that way. Offer to help them with their fitness, or invite them to your Facebook group, and that sort of stuff that we'll talk to you about the strategy behind it. But this is just a good place to start. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the page, excuse me, because this is kind of your business profile. This is your brand, where you're going to build your brand, as well as when it gets to paid ad campaigns, you need a Facebook page to run those advertising campaigns from. It is, if you've got a page, great. If you want to open one up, that's fantastic, just to get it started, because you can also use your page to interact in your Facebook group as your page, or you can alternate and do it as you. So for instance, if you want, you can talk in your page as you, as the person, or you can have a more official thing. And this is where you're going to, when you start doing promotions or whatever, you can do it as your page, and then comes across as a business type of post. Okay, so let's get into the Facebook groups quickly. So a Facebook group is about creating community. It's about doing education. It's about conversations, about relationship and sharing advice and that type of thing. So it's quite a different thing to a page, where a page is probably just about somebody liking your brand or liking what you said or something like that. Whereas a a Facebook group is, we talk about somebody joining a Facebook group. It's a different action to liking your page. It's more of a connection when somebody joins you and becomes part of your Facebook group. Okay, so the interesting thing about Facebook groups is that groups are seeing a lot more engagement than pages, because this is more in line with what Facebook is about. What Mark Zuckerberg wants is a community of people connecting with each other. That's the vision of Facebook. So Facebook groups are a lot more in line with that. And Facebook groups enable members to start conversations more seamlessly than a Facebook page, because no one can post on your page, but somebody can initiate a post on your group. It's a shift away from public sharing to discussion in a more private space. So it's actually amazing that we've been, that you've got the space that you could use and to create this community around you. And it's obviously as a place for your fans to connect with each other as well and create an even more tight-knit community. So I'm going to go through all of these things that you can quickly do, and I'll show you this practically. And I'm going to talk to you about public versus private groups, how to create a cover picture. Again, your cover picture is similar to your personal profile picture, your name and description, group type, all of that sort of stuff. But I'm just going to jump across to Facebook and just quickly show you how to start a Facebook group. I thought I had this open. Clearly not. Okay, so, and again, yeah, when you get to your Facebook group, to your Facebook page, I always go straight over here where it says groups, because this is where I work. I'm not interested in sort of scrolling through my feed and reading all what everybody else is up to. I want to know inside my groups that I'm a member of, what are people up to, and I want to be posting as my group. So you'll see on the left here, you've got your feed. There's where you can go discover those other groups that I said you can join. I'll show you that now. But when you start, it's very simple to start a Facebook group. You can literally go create a new group and bam, you've got a template that you could start working with. There's your group name. Remember, it's that if I can make people believe that yoga is the best form of weight loss or flexibility or fitness, so that's where that name would go. Yoga for pregnant mothers or something like that could be the group name over there. Here's where you choose your privacy. And I would just caution you, yeah, if you create a private Facebook straight off the bat, you won't be able to make it public. But if you create a public one, you can make it private after that. So maybe the way to just start in the beginning is to make it public, and then as soon as you've got some people in there, then you can close it down and make it private. The danger just with public groups is you could have random people joining it and crashing your group and comes and speaks nonsense in your group. But while you still have a small group, it's quite easy to control. You can just delete that stuff and kick people out, but that's the route I would go. So before you invite invite friends over there, yeah, it's your group name would come up and you can change your picture and stuff. I'm not going to create another group because I've got plenty of those already. I'm just going to go see like a demo picture that I've got over here. Yeah, you can go and upload a picture and just change that picture to something that you want. And then I'm going to just go to the settings of my Facebook group. So up here, you could change the name and description. There's the privacy that you're either private or public. The location, don't worry about that. If you've got a website address, sorry, no, I lie. This is the address of your page at the top in the URL. You can go and actually make it something like, call it Joran's page, the Joran's group, something like that, which will, you see, it's available, Jon, so I'd go and get it if I was you. And then it's not a big number like that. It's actually it's going to be a word behind it. Okay. And then the group type. Here's another piece of advice. Go and select social learning as a page, because it gives you a lot of possibilities in terms of what you're going to, the way you're going to structure your page. Just take my word for that at the moment as social learning. And that's basically it. Who can join the group? You can keep that profiles, or you can make it individual person. And that's pretty much it. Later on, you will start sort of want to exercise a bit more control, but that's kind of in the beginning, it won't be a big problem. And then I would say start inviting your friends, getting people into your group, and especially friends in the beginning that can give you feedback and tell you what's cool about the group and what's not. Linked pages is as if you've got a business page, I would link to it so that you can then interact as the page or as yourself. So that's pretty much it in terms of setting up a Facebook group. We'll talk more about actual strategies of engaging with people and things like that. But for now, I think those are the most important things, just to kind of get you going with a Facebook group. And that's all I have for today. I will share some of these things in our Facebook group, as well as that template in terms of creating a profile. I also have this template, which is literally just lines that you could put into like a, wherever you're doing your designing, to make sure you don't go outside the lines. So you can just paint inside the lines. And that's all I've got. So we'll check up on you guys. Jon, you're good with that?
Okay. His phone battery was dead, so that's why he disconnected.
Okay, no worries. Okay, cool. No, that's fine. So I think everybody could just kind of get started on those things then for Friday, and then we could see how everyone's done. And for those of you watching this later on the recording, you can also do that for Friday, and we're going to go check up on the groups that people have started.
Yeah. Also, what Quinton and I are going to do is a recording of Quinton coaching me through the process. So you guys will get to see where to click, what Quinton recommends that you edit, and how we actually all put it together. So a nice practical way of doing it. And then as soon as possible, we're also going to get in on the process of how I'm going through the sales process that I've taught you as well. And then obviously monkey see, monkey do. Once I've done it, then the idea is that you follow along straight afterwards. But we want you to be comfortable. So we want to give you that step-by-step explanation, and then actually a practical example, and then we all do it together.
Yeah. And I just want to say lastly, don't worry about playing around in the Facebook group thing. You can't really break it. You can, you can change things later. And if you really hate it and you made a complete mess of it, you just start another group. so you can create as many Facebook groups as you like, which is quite cool. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Jon. Have a good.
Do you have any questions?
Cool.
Perfect.
We'll see.
We will see you guys on Friday.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Quinton.
Cheers. Bye.